Okay. Tatsmewi, Inamunik Twas, Alautwema. My Indian name belonged to my great-great-great-grandmother, and she was married to Wapshilai. So my mother was full-blooded Nimipu, and my father was non-Indian, and we were raised in a home with 7 children in Seattle. We are a part of that relocation program where they were sending Indians to the cities to learn their skills and to assimilate into the larger culture. The name that I carry, Alautwema, has been passed on to my granddaughter, Josie Hatuit, year out. So she's carrying that name forward. My grandpa's name, Tawis Ilp, is being carried forward by James Walker, who is my nephew. So passing on these names is very important because it centers us on who we are, but it also holds us a responsibility to conduct ourselves in a way that is respectful for those names and for that history that we carry with us. Well, I guess as a young child growing up in Seattle, and we were right during that civil rights movement period when the fishing rights on the Puyallup and the Nisqually were taking place, and we grew up we weren't rich, we weren't well off, but we learned how to make things. So I would make these little bracelets, or I'd make these little earrings or rings, and I started with those to help sell those to make money so we could eat. And from there, my grandma, Lucille Moody, down here in Lapway, that was my Palaka sister, she taught me about beadwork, and she was so patient. I started with a little rosette. She says, "Can you bead?" And she would show me, and I'd get my thread so tangled, and she'd stop and help me to untangle, and I'd keep going. And then I'd watch her because she was a weaver. She did the corn husk weaving, and so I'd watch her, and I'm just fascinated because it has so many moving parts, so many it's very intricate to watch and to see someone who has really mastered that technique on how to do that. I guess from there, when I became a young parent, I went to the Head Start, and Ka'atwe, Catherine Lott Ramsey, she was teaching weaving for the young parents, and so I took my first class with Catherine Ramsey in addition to my grandma. So historically, the material was what was around you, what was in your vicinity, because we traveled so much. It was the hemp, or kemiach, they call it. That's what kemiach is hemp, kemiach. That hemp and the dog bane, how you work it, and even that is a process, being able to work it to get it to the shape and the size that you want. So it's the hemp and the bear grass. Some people made baskets with the cedar bark, and so nowadays you see people using like raffia, and some people use the cotton string instead of the hemp string, and it's okay. It's okay because our people adapt and our people use what is available. But the main thing is that you are constantly creating. And so making hats for me has been very rewarding because I'm picking up those skills that my grandparents had, but I'm also learning from people today, especially my in-laws at OMAC. They're master weavers, and I was a little nervous going up to OMAC, Nespelem and OMAC, to learn from them, because you know how it is with in-laws, you wonder, are they checking me out, what's going on here, and I did the best I could, and I have this little basket, this little teeny one I made, and I brought it down with me because I wanted to show that even at my age, I'm 64 now, that it's okay to learn something new, that we all can start out with something. So I brought with me a hat. It's my very first corn husk hat I've ever made, and I want to give all the thanks to everyone that's taken the time to show me, to help guide me, because it is a process. When you're a weaver, you make a lot of weaver friends that help you. And so this is my first corn husk hat I made. And like most people, when you look at your stuff, you're like, oh, I can see I didn't do this, I didn't do that, or I could have tightened this a little. And so I can see that, but I'm still really proud of it. I'm especially proud of this little basket because this is the one I made at Nez Perce that got me back into weaving that I had stepped away for 40 years and finally came back, and it was my Aunt Tilly, my in-law up there, that helped me, and she was watching me because it's really tiny. It's hard to, I think it's easier to do big than it is to do really tiny. But what she noticed was I wasn't giving up, even though it was kind of lumpy and a little lopsided, and parts of it are bigger and parts of it are smaller. She was watching. She said, "Oh, you're not giving up. That's good," because a lot of people, they start and it gets too hard, so they give up. And so I've hung on to this just to remind myself that, you know, we all start small, we all start somewhere, but it's important to start, and it's important to finish, that you finish what you start. You know, when my Aunt Lottie was alive, she spoke to me about her mother and her aunts, the stories that were shared when Spalding was here, and how hard our people were made to work to support the Spalding and the mission and the life. Because there used to be like a sawmill or a mill where they made lumber, and it was the women that had to do a lot of that work, and she remembered that, and she remembered how tired, how hard they worked. And my grandmother, she shared with me, she went to Carlisle and she went to school and came back, but she shared with me that a long time ago when the missions were here, they told our people, you know, this is a new way of life, this is a new way to believe. You are becoming new people, so you need to give up everything that you hold on to, that is your old ways. You're becoming civilized, and you need to get away from that buckskin dress, get away from those hats, get away from those old ways you used to ride a horse, the way you stored your food. It's not good anymore. If you are a Christian, if you are a civilized Indian, then you're going to give all that up, and you're going to take it and you're going to bury it up on the hill. And this is a true story that my grandparents told me, that there was missionaries that did that. And they would bury them on the hill, and in the evening the missionaries would go up there, dig those things up, and they'd hold on to them. And so that was lost from our people for a long time. And what my husband told me is, you know, the things we make carry a spirit, and so those spirits would be crying for us. Those things that were taken from us were crying to come home. And when the Spalding Allen was available, or I wouldn't even say available, when they wanted to take it back to Ohio, that our people saw that, no, you can't take that. Those belong here. They're a part of us. Those things are crying out to us. And so I appreciate the work that Herman Rubin did as the chairman of that committee to ensure that those things were kept here. And I'm so thankful that the tribe would like to rename those to give them the proper respect, that they're a part of us. They're not a part of Spalding Allen. That was kind of a sad history for them to be away, and now they're home, and now they will be retain a name that's here for our people for many generations. So other people beyond me can go down there and look at those things and study them the way I'd like to with those hats, to study them and look at how intricate that is, how they tied those things together. And then your hands, they learn, and they get that memory into them as you're making them. And that's what I want to pass on to my children, was teaching yourself how to teach yourself to make things.